Fire department report.
Activity is picking up again for the first half of April. We had 19 calls, 11 of which were requests for paramedics. So far this year, we've had 105 calls. Also, I wanted to report that I did send in or submit a letter from the fire department to the Village Voice regarding the home inspections and the fact that we offer them. So we have followed up on that, and if there's anything that I've missed that you've asked me to follow up on, let me know.
Village attorney report.
I have nothing.
Nothing beyond.
Comments from the president. You have a letter from the Metropolitan Mayor's Caucus letter. Mr. Swadek responded to this thing. If this goes through, it will cost the village $80,850 as compared to last year.
I need to revise that upward
Okay?
for what it's worth. The last figure is $89,815.
Where'd that come from?
That came from $23 per in the next to the last paragraph in the mayor's letter. Times our population is 2,000, which hasn't technically changed, of 3,905.
Okay.
89,815,
Correct.
okay.
So he has answered on behalf of the village. He sent a letter to Carol Sente.
I responded to her letter, but not on behalf of the village.
Well, but they're looking to cut everything. The deer fence survey was mailed out. You have a copy of it in your report, in your file. And hopefully we'll get everything back by April 30th. We'll have a discussion on this at the next meeting. Visitors wishing to address the board?
Yes.
Is there anybody who'd like, that's not on the agenda? Yes, ma'am. Tell them who you are.
State your
name.
My name is Patricia Bergson,
And your address?
765 Juneberry Road,
Spell your last name, please, ma'am.
Berkson.
Thank you.
I'm going to read this because public speaking is more than talking to myself. But I'm here tonight to voice my objections to the Deerfield Road bike path as it's being planned. This path is being designed to fit the funding that is being sought from the federal government rather than the environmental and practical needs of our community. It's too big and destructive. To be eligible, federal funding requires a bicycle path to be a minimum of 8 feet wide with at least 2 feet of shoulder on each side. Meanwhile, the county is planning to resurface Deerfield Road to include a bike lane on each side of the road that will be a minimum of 2 feet wide on each side. So minimally, we're talking about an 8-foot path, 4 feet of shoulder, and 4 feet of additional bike lanes, 16 feet at least. 12 of it paved with all of the runoff considerations that produces. This is now a bicycle roadway. Where will the 16 feet come from? From the removal of trees and understory. On my property alone, which is a comparatively narrow Deerfield Road frontage, 18 large mature trees are sporting tags indicating that they'll be impacted. Neighbors that I've spoken to have 30, 40 trees that are tagged. In the end, hundreds of trees and the understory, including the trillium on my property, will be lost. How can this village support a non-vital recreation project that causes this much environmental destruction? We can't destroy innumerable mature trees, all that's beneath them, including habitat, and then pop a stick of a sapling in the ground, congratulate ourselves, and consider our stewardship duties done. How can you miss the irony of destroying such a large number of trees so that you can pedal down to the Des Plaines River Greenway? This bicycle roadway is as large overall as many of the lakefront and Lincoln Park bike paths. They service hundreds of people a day, and on nice weekends, thousands. What kind of usage will we see over a year's time, in good weather and bad? Can the usage possibly justify the loss of the natural resource that we'll live without every day? And while there are health benefits to be gained from riding a bike, everyone who breathes benefits from our trees. You need to weigh carefully what we'll all lose. And while I have great respect for people who volunteer their time and do the community's work. I'm also taken aback by the ease with which a small group of fellow residents can decide another resident's property is expendable. It could be severely altered, damaged, and devalued by a committee's plan for a non-vital recreational facility. I don't think that's okay. Our plan should not be designed to fit funding requirements, appropriateness be damned. Any plans made in Riverwoods should be thoughtful, minimally invasive, and show the maximum amount of respect for our environment and neighbors. Also, questions such as who's going to maintain the path, who's going to pick up the trash, who's going to pick up the broken glass that I pick up now, that's along just the shoulder of the road. There's all the questions that haven't been answered to people who live along the road. So I ask you that you really consider this thing very carefully. I think it's the wrong thing to do. There's other ways to do it, and there's other ways to fund it. Thank you.
Question, what is your address?
765 Juneberry Road.
Your,
I am at the corner of Juneberry. My house is not on the road. As I said, I have a narrow
you're on
front.
the southeast corner.
Yes.
Okay, this path is only in the planning stage, and that's it at the moment. We have a long way to go before it becomes a reality.
Well, thank you.
And if you'd like to leave that, I would
Yes.
make copies of that and send it, and make sure all the trustees have a copy.
Thank you. And I realize it's just in the planning stages, but I think now is the time to make an objection to it before you get too far along. So shall I move this one?
She gives the clerk and he'll make
Thank you.
copies.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Want it now?
No, so you don't need this right now, do you? You don't need this back right now, do you?
No, I made you a copy.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll make a copy for everybody on the board. Anybody want to make a response? Does anybody want to make a response at this time? Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Motion for approval of bills, please.
So moved.
Second. Any questions? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Swadek,
Aye.
trustee Masterson,
Aye.
trustee Krumjian,
Aye.
trustee Haber absent, trustee Graviter,
Yes.
trustee Chamberlain,
Aye.
passes.
Thank you. Second reading of an ordinance requiring interior automatic fire sprinkler systems. Have a motion for second reading and adoption, please.
So you want me to take that off the table for the,
We do have to take it off the table?
laid on the table at the last meeting,
It's been postponed to the next meeting.
and we can consider it.
I'm just trying to be safe.
I know.
Can we take it off the table or not?
It was
It was
postponed to
It
the
was
next
on the
meeting.
table.
Okay, well, last
It's
time
on.
you gave me some
We just
different
kicked it around.
versions. I just want to be safe.
Distinction without a difference.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Sorry about that.
we have
Who made the motion?
we have a revised,
Who made the motion?
We
sir?
did.
Do we have
I'm
a,
sorry, I'm sorry.
do we have a motion?
No.
for second reading?
I might have, I think I spoke up.
Okay, who's the second?
So moved.
I'll second it.
And a second.
Thank you.
We'll have some discussion, please. All right, I have a couple of
Aye.
questions. Go ahead.
Yeah, I have a couple of questions, Bruce. One, under, a paragraph labeled number 6, there's no section, I guess it's under section 2, subheading B, paragraph 6. The word, it says all required fire sprinkler valves should be monitored. Is this the formal use of the word should? Shall is a requirement, but should is a recommendation. Is that the interpretation to make here? Or is this a requirement?
I'll ask the.
It's a recommendation. We understand there's an expense involved with an alarm system. We don't want that to be a painful thing to the homeowner, so we would recommend that they do that, and it's in their best interest to do it, but they don't have to do it.
Sure. Okay.
Cheryl?
Since Mike Faber's not here, I'll do all the legal stuff.